Hi guys, this is the Cricket Carpets Direct website. Long awaited and overdue, but it's here at last. By the time you view this video, it should be live. The home page is pretty standard with a big banner at the top, a couple of latest offers, but the most important thing is the project planner, which is what we've been slaving over to get right, and that's what's caused some delays. If we press the project planner, you'll be taken to a login and register page. Basically, you can't use the project planner unless you are registered and logged in. So if you try to use the site and, for example, try and create a quote for a match pitch, for example, you'll basically just be taken back to this page. So if we quickly log in, you'll be taken back, or you'll be taken to the project planner. It'll say welcome back and your username, and then give you a whole list of all the quotes that you've previously completed. These are obviously ones I've produced for the testing side of things. So once you are logged in, you're basically able to create a quote for any type of cricket facility that you want to do. So in this case, if we wanted to create a quote for a match pitch installation, we can basically press the match pitch installation button. We'll be taken to a quick blurb about why to use it, and then we can get a quote. At this point, there is an optional field to fill in here, which allows us to put a brief description of the quote or the pitch specification we're trying to get a quote on. What will be useful for ourselves is that we could potentially put in here the cricket club name we want to create a quote for. So say it was Bradford Cricket Club. We could then go through the selections below. How long do we want the pitch? So we'll say 30 meters. Surface type, Wilton woven or needle punch carpet. We'll select Wilton. Do we need a shot pad? Yes. In all these cases, there is a brief explanation here of why, or the reason for selecting the various options, which will help the client. The base, again, a brief description. That's always on because every pitch has to have a base. Sub base, do we actually want to create a stone raft underneath it? Again, there's an explanation here of why. So if we say no in this case, do we need timber edging? We'll say no. Do we want spores to be removed? Yes. And then we can save the quote, and we'll be taken back to the project planner, and you'll see here we've got match pitch installation, Bradford Cricket Club, a price, and the date it was created. At this point we can select PDF, we can actually view it. It will open in a separate window. And there you'll see your finished quote. It will obviously have my contact and name in there because I'm logged in. If it was the client, it would be his name and his contact details there, not mine. And then it gives a brief specification of what we've asked for. So length, surface type, shot pad, base, sub base we didn't select, so that's not included. Timber edging not included. Removal of sites, is it included? And then a price at the bottom, with a rider, if you like, saying that all quotes are for guidance only, subject to site visit. In this case, it's not always true. If we feel that the particular club, etc., knows what they're looking for. The site's relatively good, access is okay, and the pitch is going onto the edge of a square which will be relatively flat, then we'll be probably quite happy to accept the quote as it is now. If we can, we'd obviously like to go out there first to basically just make sure that the previous points mentioned, our access levels are all as per you'd expect to be able to install the wicket. If you're not happy with that particular quote, you can go back in and edit it. So say for example we wanted to, actually we decided that having seen the site, we definitely need to have a sub base on there because of the ground conditions, because it lies wet, it won't drain very well. We can take the sub base, resave it, and you'll see the quote's gone up by quite a bit. Again, we can view that. And we'll see now that when it comes to the sub base, it's got excavate a further 75mm and import stone foundations. That should say to within 50mm of proposed finished site. Well, I'll get the guy to change that. I've asked him quite a few times already. Basically at this point, either yourself or the client can print it out. You can probably do that from the PDF anyway, but more importantly you can email yourself a copy of this. So if you wanted to create a quote for Bradford Cricket Club and then email it to yourself, now you can obviously then you could forward that quote to the club or the client yourself. This will look okay because it's coming from you, but it's got their name on it. So that's one option. You can alternately just forward the client to this website for them to actually create their own quotations. You can do both basically. If it was a client, obviously at this point, if he'd emailed himself, he'd forward that to his committee members, etc. He could simply select site survey, and he'd basically be given the option to forward this quotation to us. It actually picks up the quotation that he's inquiring about on there, which we can then view at our end. He can put the timescale of his particular inquiry, how he heard from us, and submit that to us, and we can then contact him. So this is a real easy way to create quotes very quickly. Again, it's a tool for both the client and us in the office to create these. You can obviously have a list of all the quotes that you've sent out to the various clubs, etc., which will be useful. Again, there's every type of installation possible. So with regards to the practice facilities, we've got 4 different choices. We've got batting ends only, which obviously is just the batting end strips here, whether that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bay, whether it's a cage or not. We've got full length facilities that we can quote for, which are obviously just like a match pitch, which is a continuous piece of carpet going from top to bottom. A modern facilities, I've called it, which is a batting end, but it's surrounded with an artificial carpet, making it an all-purpose maintenance-free area. This obviously is quite a new and common thing now for most people to choose. And then there's the traditional option of the batting and bowling ends, with the option of having a synthetic surround. You don't have to, but they can use that, select that option as they go through. If I just explain this on this particular one, so again, you could put a short description in there if you wanted to. You can select the number of lanes for the project, so we'll say it's 4 bay. How long we want the cage, if it's required at all. So we could say yes, it's going to be a 48-foot cage. And then we have a choice of selecting the various options for the batting ends. and also the bowling ends. So in this case, we're just selecting these very quickly, but the client will probably take more time just to read an explanation of why, etc. Again, we've got option for timber edging on the bowling ends, as well as obviously on the batting ends above. If you see, just there, if I scroll back up, so you can be specific to each, not to the whole system, but to both batting and bowling ends. Again, do we want to remove the spores from site? Yes and no. And then this is the option for the synthetic surrounds. So do we want that to? Do we want the option there? You could create two quotes, one with and then one without, and just mark up this up here. So we could call it again Bradford Cricket Club. Practice pitch with surrounds. Then go back down to the bottom. We'll tick yes, and we'll save it. And again, we've got Bradford Cricket Club practice pitch with surrounds. Obviously, it's quite a high price. It was a 4-bay facility. Again, we can view it, print it, email, request a site survey if the client wanted to do that. So you can see how this could hopefully definitely speed up our quotation side, but more importantly, hopefully will provide the client with a facility to price check previous quotations they've been given for works. Again, hopefully a lot of the work we'll get is carpet replacement, so a carpet replacement for a match pitch. If they've been quoted already, hopefully they'll use this facility to see if our quote would actually be any cheaper than the one they've got. There's obviously only a few items to select for a replacement carpet, just the length, the type of carpet, and if they want a shot pad or not. So even if we went to the needle punch carpet and we went for a 27 metre pitch, which sometimes they are only at that particular length, we have a cost of £700, which is obviously very reasonable indeed. So hopefully that'll entice people to use ourselves. You perhaps noticed on the previous screen there was an option which we haven't seen before, which is unique to the replacement carpet side. So installation services, carpet replacements, both match and practice facilities will have this base work element here. What this basically is, again, there's a description here for you to go and read, but we've allowed for there being no base work, so obviously that keeps the cost right down. Our guys go straight in, lay the surface, no problem. Minor base works where the base is slightly undulated and really just needs re-scarifying and recompacting before laying the carpet, or finally major base works where there is almost settlement on the surface and the actual pitch will need raising up by, we've said in the narrative, about 20 millimeters. So again, this is something to look out for if you are looking at any replacement carpets or talking to the client on the phone. But again, they can make their own mind up which one of these elements they decide to select. There will actually be some video buttons on all these pages, which are the next page, which should be in the next few days. A little bit like I mentioned earlier, if I log out as if I wasn't logged in and go to the project planner page, again I can't access it now, but there is a video here to explain to you or the client how this website works and the project planner. These help buttons will be located in the green bars on various pages, especially in the project planner, so that we can almost handhold the client who's using this site and give him a little bit of guidance on which options to select. All these will be hosted on YouTube. Simple case of just selecting and playing the video. There's obviously the maintenance packages on there that we already offer. The client can buy it directly from the site, supply only. Again, this is just basically a shopping cart with the woven carpets, needle punch or shop pad. We've used these icons to basically upsell the services and give them a bit more kudos. And finally, there is an ancillaries products area for anything else that doesn't fall into these categories. Now, the one thing that may be of interest is the Power Play Instant Cricket pitch system, which is basically a not sports product. It gives you some details here about this. There's also, by the time you check this out, there will be a video link on here to the YouTube footage that Not Sports have put on online. This can actually be found if you press the page before that section, and you can play that. Hopefully this will be reconfigured so it replaces the top photo and be on the other page. This is basically an artificial pitch that can be rolled out temporarily and be used on AstroTurf pitches. It retails at $3,595, which excludes VAT, but actually includes the delivery to the UK. We get 25% on that price as a discount, so we'll be giving you some more details about that and the possibility of selling these to our existing clients for their AstroTurf pitches to turn them into a temporary cricket field, which is quite unique. I think that's about the lot. Any issues, any problems, let me know. Hopefully you'll find it a useful sales tool, and hopefully we'll get some inquiries in. Thank you.